around too, buddy. Wanna go get some mice? Ooh, made it. What is this weather? There's 3 inches of snow yesterday. It's been raining for hours and hours. Got quite the lake in our front yard again, but I guess the pond's getting filled. What you got, boys? Oh, we got some pig ears. All right, so last night I got all of these. Well, I still need to touch up final sand on this one, but other than that, I got every single thing sanded. Got the doors nice and sanded, all the harsh edges. Oh, missed one right there. That's why I brought you out, quality control. And also, last night, I was a little bit out of it. So monotonous sanding for so many hours. I picked up the last door and I gave it a shake to get the dust off, and I literally gronked the door, slammed it on the ground, and cracked it almost all the way down. So had to glue it back together, and I think we'll be good to go. Just need to do a final sanding to get the crack and the glue out of there. Mistakes happen. Okay, so we got these uppers up on here. We finally did the math. We decided to move this bottom shelf up a little bit. That way we have more room for decorations. I really personally have a ton of books and flowers that I have planned for this area. So I think my decision to move it up is the right call. We're going to get these marked out. We do have to put another backer panel because we scooted this bottom shelf up, but the rest are going to catch. So we'll get these set in place, screwed in from the side, and then we'll flip it up on its end and screw through the backer panels. We need to get these shelves in so we can put the face frame on and then get everything caulked and painted. Alrighty, so we decided we don't need to do any backing screws. These shelves are very sturdy the way we built them, and we're only going to be putting decorations on there. It's not like this is a weight rack or something, so this should hold up. Plus, we're going to have the white oak behind here, so it'll kind of stack and pinch everything. So if there was any bit of sag, it would hit that white oak. So we're not concerned about that. Alright, let's get the face frame on. Okay, now we just need to glue and fasten this down there. Alright, so we just finished. We got all the face frames on the bases and the uppers, letting the wood restore. Is that what it's called?
What?
Yeah, the wood restore. We're calling it Bondo though, because that's basically what it is. These look super duper good. I don't know if I can get up high enough to show you guys. That's a little bit better, but that's what the uppers are going to look like. Now, the fun part everybody hates, cleanup. So we got to clean all of this area so that tomorrow we're good to paint. Today we are finally going to get all of these painted. Chelsea and I have spent the past couple days getting these sanded, bondoed, filled as good as we possibly could get them. ready for paint. We got the holes drilled for the hinges, so really the only thing that we should have to kind of do after the fact is drill a hole in the back to feed the wire for the picture light that's going up here. So I've got this little redneck rope strung across the barn so I can hang these doors. I think everything else will be fine being painted. Oh, I also didn't video this. I didn't have much time. We had to get together, so I had to come out and knock these out real quick. So these are the end panels. These will all be black as well. These turned out really good, and these will kind of cover up the difference between the lower base and the upper. I haven't used this sprayer since I painted the house, but I got it all primed using the Magnum X7 with BIN or bin primer. This is the best stuff. If you're trying to cover up wood grain or a stain, it's a little pricey, but you're gonna save a lot of time. Probably only one coat, and it stops you from having to prime over and over again, because we don't want to see any wood grain anywhere. We want this a nice satin finish. So I'm going to get my respirator on. We're gonna start spraying. This stuff dries really fast. I think it's a 45-minute dry time. So Chelsea's out getting paint right now, I believe. We'll probably come back later this afternoon and get these sprayed black. Kind of depends on a few estimates I have, but either way, today or tomorrow, these things will be painted. Okay guys, just finished spraying that. It's super fumey in here, so I'm not gonna be in here long, but turned out very nice. This primer covered very well. Got a couple runs in a few spots. Some of these ones, a little hard to paint with the big area, getting both sides and those sides without getting any extra material on top. So we'll just have to see how much they even out, and we'll give them a light sand, and then we can get the top coat on there. Really exciting to see these things painted, but we're gonna change them from white to black. Alrighty guys, we are back another day. Going to get all these sanded so we can start our top coats. Going to do 2 top coats of the emerald. From what I found online, this is the best stuff for cabinets. This is what we sprayed all of our black doors with, and it was super easy to spray, and so far has been very durable. I also got a different tip I'm going to try. This is apparently FFLP is fine finish low pressure. So I had a little bit of an issue when coming in here to spraying like this. There was so much overspray. I had some issues with getting too much paint on there and getting runs, even with the gun all the way down and being really careful. So this hopefully will give me a much smaller pattern and a much lower pressure, so I'm not getting so much overspray and coating everything in the barn black. I'm gonna throw on some music, start sanding my life away, and we'll see you guys in probably an hour or two. We'll start spraying. Alrighty, that took a while. I got everything sanded, all the edges knocked down, everything vacuumed and then blown out with compressed air. So we should be ready to paint. We just need to flush the sprayer, strain the paint, put on the paint suit, and we'll be ready to make a mess. I'm really excited. These look kind of good right now, but painting them black with a nice satin, these are gonna look like $1 million. Gonna go for probably 80% coverage on this first coat. I don't want to go too heavy and have a bunch of runs, and then 4 hours if I have time, because today is the Super Bowl. Going to sand down any runs, any dust nibs, and then spray the final coat. Alrighty, got the sprayer hooked up, ready to rock. Alrighty, now we just got to repeat the process. Okay, that did not take too long and went very good. That tip was a total game changer as far as not wasting product. I made it, I was just shy of a gallon. I still had paint left. I just lost the prime because of the filter. So I had to dump a little bit into there, but we will definitely have enough to do 2 coats. These are drying, so we got a little shiny, little flat spot. Already, I got a little bit of paint. That's one thing, is masks do not work when you have facial hair. I had a full face helmet, but Hank ate it. So I'm stuck using the traditional mask and it doesn't quite do the job, but this is water-based. I'm not too worried about it. Concrete sealer is way worse than paint for you, so if I'm gonna have issues, it's from that. I'm gonna go get some lunch. We'll see you guys in 4 hours for the second and final coat. Okay guys, welcome back. It's actually the next day. I decided I wanted to give the paint a little bit more time so that I could sand some of these dust nibs off, like there. And, basically there was a bunch of little tiny imperfections. There's only so much you can do in a shop. You know, there's dust flying around. This isn't a downdraft paint booth or something super nice where a legitimate cabinet painting setup, you would have a designated booth so you don't have dust flying around. But I've done my best to keep the floor clean and not dragging my feet and just kind of walking slowly so I'm not kicking up dust. I'm okay if there's a couple imperfections though. This is, I actually talked to a custom cabinet builder last week and he estimated roughly $10,000 per cabinet. So 20 grand for this. We've got a little bit under 2 grand in materials. So not factoring in time, that's an $18,000 savings. I think we're still really money ahead. So I got everything sanded, everything blown off with compressed air. I'm going to get the paint suit on. I brought the other GoPro today so that I can do a little bit more filming while I'm spraying. All right, I'm gonna hop in the sweatsuit. This thing is super hot. All right, so I've got my tips. I cleaned it last night. In case anybody's curious, I'm using the Fine Finish Low Pressure 310. Make sure you buy this bigger nozzle because the one that comes with the Graco guns does not work for this Fine Finish. Okay guys, I'm gonna throw you on the GoPro head mount here. That way I can keep you on while I'm spraying and can have my hands free. This is how I do my concrete videos because there's no way I can set up a tripod and move it while I'm working. Let's get the paint opened up and we'll start flushing this gun. Can't wait to get this area of my shop back. Oh, I must have had a dream that I combined these. Oh, that was dumb. All right, that is definitely paint. All right, so there you go. You got your nozzle. You can see the little orifice there. So you can spray paint out, and then if you get a clog, you just twist this tip right around. It reverses it, blows the clog out, turn it back, and you're good to spray. This is the same gun, not the same tip, but this is the same gun I used to paint the whole house with the primer and all the paint. So I've had a couple dozen hours spraying with this gun. I'm trying to work back towards my sprayer so I'm not dragging my hose through painted things. I'm trying to build it as absolute thick as possible without having a run. Heck yeah. That's all right. Now I just gotta clean the gun. I'll be good to go. Well, that went about as good as it could have gone. Had plenty of paint. Still don't see a single run, but I got a lot of paint on there. I got a really thick coat, which is what I wanted, because this emerald stuff dries very hard. So, I mean, if you just think about it, the thicker the paint, the more a dent would have to just be a black dent and not go down into the primer or the wood. So, kind of you want as thick of a coat as possible without having any runs. I'm walking kind of like a goofball because I'm not trying to kick up any of the overspray or any dust. I'm gonna head inside. I'll see you guys in a couple hours. Hi guys, next morning we're heading down to Grandpa's wood shop. We got the white oak in the back. We're going to get it planed down. This is kind of the last rough step, and within the next couple days these will be totally installed and finished up. So I think he's got the wood stove going. Hopefully it's not, I don't know what temperature.
Cold.
Cold, yeah, it's cold degrees out, so hopefully the wood fire helps a little bit. Alrighty guys, we just got back to the shop from Grandma and Grandpa's. Could not be happy with how these boards turned out. They've got a perfect finish on them. Chelsea just went inside to let the boys out, which they should be coming any minute. Any minute. There's Harley. There they are. Hey boys. Har, come here buddy. You've been cooped up all day. Come here. Har, come here, buddy. Come on. I can see you. Okay, fair enough. I'm not playing that game. I'm gonna get this wood unloaded, stacked in the barn. I've got to head to a job, go to work. So that's all we're gonna be able to work on the cabinets today. We'll pick up tomorrow or the next day, depending on how much snow we get. Hey guys, welcome back. It's the next day. Going to get these bases carried in and the doors installed, the flooring cut. Got a lot to do. I'm not going to risk lifting the uppers by myself. So gonna wait for Chelsea so we can carry them in together. That way we don't damage the freshly painted cabinets. Boys want a treat? Thank you. Oh boy. Let's check the cabinets out, boys. All you care about is your mouse friend. Yeah, check these out. I don't know if they'll show up on camera, but these things look so good. They literally look like a factory finish cabinet, which I'm gonna chalk up to using a really high quality paint over my skill, but I did do a good job of sanding and priming them. All right, I'm gonna get everything taken off my awesome zip line I have built, and we'll get them stacked gently out of the way with some towels in between. Actually, I'll probably just carry these doors inside. They don't need to be out in the barn, so I'll just carry them in as I go. We'll see you guys in a couple minutes once we get all this hauled inside. That's slobber all over ya. He's been mouse up in the heavy equipment, so he's got a little bit of grease on his head, but just got this saw cut. I cut through the flooring here. It should, oh, this might work out perfect. Sweet. All right, that pulls up nicely, but the base will sit on the concrete, and then the cabinet should come right down on this edge and fit perfectly flush. Just like that. So you can see the base is sitting on the concrete, and then I cut this to sit on the flooring. And looks like I got lucky. There's no gaps at all. So don't need any quarter rounds. And then over here, this is where the end panel will sit. So if I'm thinking right, we won't need any quarter round anywhere. And the filler strips will go in here, and then this will scoot forward and it'll be tight, kind of like that. So it'll look totally finished like it was meant to be without having to scribe this wood to this crazy contour. All right, guys, so we just got this installed, got the hinges on. Time for the big reveal. Wait, what? Oh no. What did I do? I measured this so many times. Got my outlet in, everything's secure. Oh geez. Okay, so I didn't figure it out, but I think I know what I need to do to fix it. These are 3/4 inch overlays, which is kind of like the amount that the door hangs over the face frame, and they make bigger ones. So I think I'm just going to go with 1.25 inches, and that should average out this gap and get us back on track. I don't know how that happened. I drew a whole diagram and measured very carefully, but sometimes mistakes just happen. I probably should have installed the doors before I painted everything, but I think there's still a solution. All right, guys, just went to Menards, got some different 1.25 inch overlay right there. So our gap closed by at least half. I just swapped it with this one. Going to swap these out. The only downside is these aren't soft close like this one, which is kind of a bummer. They didn't have any, but that's something we can very easily swap in the future. We just rarely will be opening these, so I don't think it's that big of an issue. I'm gonna get this one swapped, and then we'll do the other side, and then we can bring in these uppers. Finally taking down the tree after, what, 4 months? It's been a while. The boys are whooped from playing in the snow, but we got left side in and the right side. I'm going to wait to set these countertops until we get the uppers on. We're gonna head out to the barn and get the uppers. Hopefully we don't drop them in the snow. Alrighty, we're gonna try to lift this upper. We just got it in here, but the hard part is going to be lifting it up. Oh, you know what? I gotta drill this hole first.
Down, down.
The lower you go, the worse you get.
I can't hold on to this backside.
Why did you have to make that noise?
What noise? Because it's hard.
Do you not get to lift this 3 feet off the ground?
Yeah, I don't know how you expect me to do this.
I'm gonna have to lift it.
Down, down.
This is gonna be the hard part because we can't set it right here and slide it back. I'll take it back so you can get.
All right.
Ready? Go ahead.
You need to lift yourself.
Hold it forward.
Oh gosh. Oh gosh.
You're good. You're good. We're safe. We're safe.
I'm not safe.
You are. I got it. This is heavy. Holy cow, this is gonna change everything. Oh, you know what? We gotta get that electrical. Okay. Wow. Yeah, that changes things all right. Ready for the next one? Ready? sit down. Yeah.
We gotta get the wire.
Yep. Come around the front. Alright, I'm gonna head to the store. I'll see you later.
Wow.
Look good? Alrighty guys, so we got the left side done. Looks really, really good. We decided after we got it up there, we are going to put a sealer on there. That way it matches the mantle because these are both the same species. So it'll be a little extra work having to mask off the bottom so we don't have any drips, but I'll just take a brush and put a couple coats on there. It's a very easy water-based. Over here, I just wanted to kind of show you guys what I did. Because these shelves were not perfect, we should have done this completely different than we did. We should have put all of these in as solid boards and then screwed these shelves on after the fact. But because we didn't, these were not perfect. So I had to take every single board and scribe the top and bottom so that they fit nicely. So that made it a little tricky, but because of that, I had every single one labeled exactly where it goes. This one right here is routed out for the electrical up there. So just taking some PL Premium and gluing them on there, that should be more than enough to hold them in place. Gonna get this next side done, then we can move on to the next step. Alrighty guys, it's been a couple days, but we're finally done with the built-ins. The only steps I didn't really show, I attached the end panel on and installed the light and put on the crown molding. Pretty simple, nothing crazy there, but now we have this switch here for decorative lights. So you can't really tell right now because it's daylight, but it just adds a nice touch, especially when stuff's on this shelf. And very happy with how these things turned out. This is pretty good for a concrete guy, I'm gonna say that.
Very good.
You like it?
Yes.
Okay. It just totally changes this front living room because it's been basically a giant wall of white for a year now. But these black cabinets, which actually was my brother's idea, the whole time weren't they gonna be white? Yeah, I think we were kind of like undecided and my brother just kind of assumed, he's like, oh, so those are gonna be black? And we just both kind of looked at each other and we were like, that's actually a great idea. And now, shouldn't have put so many shelves because now we have to decorate it, which is probably gonna cost more than the shelves, but it is what it is. Hope you guys enjoyed watching these built-ins. This is a perfect example. I've never done something like this, but you just get online, type in how to make a door, how to make a shelf, how to spray cabinets, and you just go for it. So hopefully this is a little bit of encouragement. If there's a project around your house that you're wanting to do, just tackle it. Start small until you kind of build some confidence, but I'm not a cabinet maker, but yet you can still make a cabinet. Alrighty, we're gonna get the boys some attention. We'll see you guys in the next video. And we're gonna get these boards ripped.
Nope.
And hopefully the wood fire's a little toasty. We're gonna get
Nope.
these. Hopefully this wood fire generates a lot of heat.
No. Just be normal.
Okay.